Alright, so it's a little bit late going, but we should be able to meet our first empire soon. That'll be interesting.
Affirmative.
Now, I'll note that when you're basically like meeting your first empire with like the Rotharians, it's usually a good idea to like, not basically run into a ship, so it's like, I've been basically avoiding here. It's also sometimes like beneficial not to like meet them at all, if you can help it. But well, for now, let's just like, move around the space here a little bit to see like, where exactly they might be, I guess, for the most part over here. I'll note, by the way, if like these guys basically are over here, and like just guys down here as well. We're gonna be doing lots of outpost shift, I think, for this one. So that'll be, something I'll be doing. Alright, so let's end our turn.
Terraforming has been completed.
And I want to turn about like, me and them. So you're just gonna
This system
colonize right
will be
there.
colonized.
Alright, interesting. So, basically there's guys over here in Abydos. And it looks like he's got warships basically over here. And he's got an outpost basically over here. Whoever this guy basically is over here.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
We'll send my guy basically to the Roman sector because this is basically a mine right over here. And this will be a little bit some. I'm gonna have this guy basically like, colonize over here, I think.
Will be colonized.
Not that I know there's like someone over here, I basically want to like, we quickly colonize all these planets as like, fast as possible, so to speak, so. Yeah, that's the plan more. Let's colonize these real fast, these planets.
Affirmative.
This guy, let's come over here and like try and like get this guy basically on my side as much as possible if I can. So yes. Now I want to buy with the Heroica over here. It's very possible that these guys have actually joined the like coalition. Or like it's very possible that the coalition basically is like, at war with them. But going on the assumption that basically the Heroica basically joined the like, coalition, they might have like, Heroica ships basically the coalition over here, so I'll have to watch out for that.
Affirmative.
Select a planet for terraforming.
You know what? At this point, we're just gonna like,
This system will be colonized.
basically focus on like just grabbing assist sectors as much as like possible for the most part, I think. So
Affirmative.
we're basically like, be focusing more on like colonizing these planets like, outright instead of like, terraforming all planets in them and like, colonize them after. Just like make sure I claim the sectors basically for the most part. So
This system will be colonized.
that'll be the plan.
Affirmative.
Send this guy over here. Actually, you know what?
Affirmative.
Just trying to think here. I want to basically get like, a colony ship down here at some point to like colonize Arcturus, but we basically the transfer ship basically put an outpost over here first, I think, so that'll be the plan there. Well, that's nice. It's been like, terraforming over here.
Affirmative.
Let's go to Cartare with him. Yeah, it's very much a careful game at this point, basically to like, you know, basically sort of like lay my boundaries basically with like the like, you know, other powers at this point. Oh, we have a contact with the humans here, so I could try to hail this guy. At this point, we're just gonna run from my flank. We'll retreat.
We claim this system in the name of the Rotharian Star Network. We claim this system in the name of the Rotharian Star Network. We claim this system in the name of the Rotharian Star Network.
Greetings from the Coalition of Planets.
We come in peace in the hope of an informative exchange of culture and scientific knowledge. We look forward to diplomatic contact with your people.
Alright, so I just met the humans.
Terraforming has been completed. External Affairs has a message for us.
The island finally offered me friendship treaty, so let's take that from them. And we terraform a planet over here in Kajam, so that's nice to see.
Select a planet for terraforming.
So this is basically, ooh, interesting. So we actually have like, you know, not one but like, you know, two missions basically over in this direction. Alright, so the coalition basically is like, you know, all the way like down this corner, I guess, like, you know, like so. That's interesting. And they have like, you know, Fremadon is basically under their sway, so to speak, over here. Up here, someone's building an outpost, but I don't know much more than that.
Affirmative.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Now, I want to know at this point that, like, you know, I have a nice big field of vision basically over here to, like, you know, block off the coalition of planets. And it's going to be very important basically to have, like, these fields basically of, like, you know, influence basically for, like, the Rotharians against, like, you know, the coalition, because the coalition is very good about, like, you know, grabbing miners, which, like, you know, I have, like, Octave over here, which is, like, a miner that could possibly, like, you know, grab. There's also, like, Zybor over here that could possibly grab. And, of course, down here as well.
Affirmative.
I actually want this guy to go here, I think, first, so we'll do that with him.
Affirmative.
Now, not with, like, the coalition of planets, and basically any other faction like the Rotharian Star, like, network. Something about the Rotharians is they're very bad for, like, you know, getting miners basically on their side, you probably can already tell. And it's very easy for, like, you know, other, like, you know, factions basically hoax, like, you know, miners basically from your territory. To prevent that, it's always a good idea basically of, like, you know, all the other major powers early off, like the Rotharians, to, like, you know, offer non-aggression. So right off the bat, we're just going to offer non-aggression to this guy. They're trying to, like, keep him out of my territory, and thus keep him away from, like, say, the Octai over here, or when we get down to Zyborg, keep him away from, like, the Zyborgians over here. That'll be my plan.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Question is this like going to be like, you know, terraform planet over here or something that he's going after? I have no idea.
Affirmative.
We're actually going to go over here to Abydos, I think, to, like, see what's in, like, you know, this sector.
Affirmative.
I'm going to send this guy down here, I think. Now, don't bother over here with this, like, you know, vessel here.
Affirmative.
I'm gonna basically have him, like, you know, quickly, like, terraform up, like, you know, Cleone's, like, you know, desert planets. So I'm basically gonna get, like, you know, a bump basically to, like, you know, build, like, a space dock and possibly, like, you know, expand out here a little bit.
Select a planet for terraforming.
We got, like, basically the 8 points here. 7 point there. 24 point there.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I'm just gonna quickly start terraforming this planet over here. Now I'm gonna basically visit Mars basically in a moment here over for these like Mars here, but I just want to basically scout out a little bit around and basically see if there's any Mars or major bases around these guys as well, up in this area. Alright, let's go for my new planets here. So, these guys over here, they're just gonna start building up some, like, you know, primitive factories. Let's do that for a little bit. Archer can just do whatever it wants to for a little bit, so let's build 6 of these, I think. Build, like, you know, some titanium. And it's going to build these basically up here, like so. You're basically in the same boat, so to speak, so just build whatever you want to. I keep forgetting I don't really need to put on the titanium right now just yet, because, like, you know, we're getting to that point where I might be able to supply all my systems with titanium at this point, so not really worth, like, you know, dealing with. You know what? You're gonna go over here, I think. Now, I want to note, by the way, like, something to watch out for with, like, the Rotharians, by the way. You don't want to be, like, you know, losing battles, because as you can see, you basically lose, like, your morale by a lot when you basically lose a battle. So you want to really watch out for, like, you know, humans basically, like, you know, shall we say, when you basically, like, you know, meet the humans, you don't want to basically have them, like, you know, how can I put this? When I met the humans and retrieved from them, I had a major loss basically like my morale, because basically like, you know, we lost a battle for like, you know, running from them. And you want to be very careful of like, you know, your morale loss of like the Rotharians, because basically Rotharians, they're all about like, you know, not being caught off guard. And I got caught off guard by like, you know, meeting this guy here, so I basically lost morale for it. You don't get a whole lot of morale basically for like defeating people, but you lose a lot of morale for like, you know, losing battles basically, so it's one of the reasons I want to be very careful like with the like Rotharians, because like, you know, they have a sort of issue with them. Build this up over here, I think.
Affirmative.
You just keep going over there. Alright, I think that basically does it for this term, but let's just see how it goes.
Terraforming has been completed.
So also we got friendship tree with these guys here, so we'll basically have one of my like, you know, planets basically like, you know, trade with like the island over here. What's a nice crappy planet that's not really doing anything for me right now? Actually, I don't think I'm going to use for anything like, you know, special, so we'll start turning with like island with them.
Affirmative.
So then I got basically up to visit those guys up here.
Affirmative.
And yeah, I can see like over here, here's like the Sputniks for like, you know, the coalition of planets. These guys don't have any like, you know, shield capacity and very little hull. And the thing about these like Sputniks is that they're basically like, you know, around to like, you know, help explore for like the coalition of planets. But you can always basically tell like where the human player is when you have like these obviously out and running, so you're like a dead giveaway to like the human being around, so hooray. Oh, this guy's slowly healing up over here. Alright, well.
Affirmative.
Someone sent their warship basically over here, so that's interesting.
Affirmative.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Affirmative.
Now, I want to know, but I don't know who's basically over here, so I probably want to basically avoid a little bit of contact with them. And since I'm about to get the question of, like, plans basically possibly have a non-aggression treaty with them, I'm basically going to avoid their territory for now so I don't get locked basically in their territory by accident. Terraformed over here apparently, so that's nice.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I'm gonna basically like fully terraform
Select
this, like,
planet for
sector, I think, but
terraforming.
I should be playing a lot more safe, I think, at this point to, like, get stuff basically done.
This system will be colonized.
Affirmative.
But whatever. Let's grab this. I'll note that pretty much at this point we're probably gonna use our, like, existing colony ships to do stuff, so
Affirmative.
probably gonna stop building these for now. And me and, like, the coalition of planets and possibly our people is probably a good indication I really should be getting my intel centers up at this point, so something to look into, basically intel centers. You know what? It's probably a good time to enable this right now to, like, just do this for now. We're just gonna turn this on and slowly start pumping out our intel centers for, like, the future, so to speak. Alright, you can just colonize right
This
here.
system will be colonized.
Let's build that right there, I guess. Actually, I should really build, like, the organic, regenerate here first, I think, so let's upgrade these instead over here. Really, at this point, it's basically all about, like, getting, like, the turn basically out to, like, build up, like, the regenerators at this point, so that's what I really should be focusing on doing, I guess.
Affirmative.
I'm gonna actually send this guy down here, I think, to help, like, push out this direction if I can. Alright, so apparently we're done, like, this sector over here for done stuff, so
Affirmative.
for now, I'm just gonna move this guy over here to help, like, terraform this, like, reducing plan over here.
We claim this system in the name of
External Affairs has a message for us.
Oh, they declined. So yeah, I'll note by the way, like, in this game, the coalition of planets don't necessarily act like the, like, Federation from, like, the, like, Star Trek universe. They are a little bit less inclined to, like, be, like, peaceful to you sometimes, so that happened. The good news though is that basically I can, like,
Affirmative.
not worry about as much, like, these guys, like, possibly, like, being a threat to me now, I guess.
Affirmative.
Well, they won't be able to lock basically me in, like, to the territory and stuff like that, so hooray is a thing. And yeah, he's building up his, like, outpost over here, this guy, so fun over here.
Affirmative.
Alright, I think we're done for this turn, so... Well, I probably should make sure I build these basically up over here, I guess. This stuff and such. Upgrade those. Build these here because I can. Now here's a question I basically ask myself, what do I want to do here in Giant Fire? I'll note that for Duranium, I'm not really like too worried about it because like, you know, we have like, you know, access to like, you know, OSET that has like a massive amount of like, you know, Duranium, so... I guess this will be like the first section where like, you know, mass produce like, you know, Intel centers on like crazy. So let's get a bunch of those basically produced. And good. So we basically have access to the organic repairs over here for like food purposes. Note by the way, even with this basically online, and with like 60s like organic repairs, I'm still like having food issues here though, so... We're just gonna build all that stuff up, I think.
Affirmative.
We're still going over there. Borkum should probably get to work basically building its own stuff here, so let's get this up now.
Affirmative.
I also send my scout basically down destruction in his territory to have a look around, I think. Let's go down this way for the most part if I can. Now, don't bother, the Vomar are usually peaceful people, so I should be able to get away with like killing these guys.
Greetings from the Cartare Union. We look forward to diplomatic contact with your people. In the meantime, we insist that you avoid our space and respect our territorial sovereignty.
Alright, so it looks like in the, like, you know, the northwest, basically have the Cartare.
Terraforming has been completed.
Oh! So those guys blew up my scout apparently, the Volmar. That happened. And look at that, they're trying to like colonize over here like crazy, so...
This system will be colonized.
Let's see if I like, grab the system out of like, you know, out of the nose of these guys right here if I can.
Affirmative.
This system will be colonized.
I'll grab this system if I can too as well, just to like, you know, try and build a space dock. Now, worth knowing here in Nox, by the way, I'm having like the tame issues, so... We're just gonna focus on filling out my titanium so like, you know, can get my like stuff done over here. Now let's build this just to kill time for now. Don't need them processed in the future. Why not we'll upgrade this, get a little bit more deuterium to like, you know, build our stuff. Alright, so we build this outpost over here. So I know that's right there.
Affirmative.
So this guy's arrived here. Is gonna have him, like, you know,
planet for terraforming.
work on terraforming that planet for a little bit. So I lost one of my scouts, unfortunately, up here. So, oh well, that happened. It is possible I can possibly, like, you know, talk to the Volmar of, like, the diplomatic, like, relationships, but, you know, that'll be a little bit off until, like, you know, we can deal with it, like, a sleep there, so to speak. So that's a thing. And yes, I'm not probably at this point. I'm very tempted to, like, just drop a whole lot of money basically on, like, you know, the Akatai, trying to get these guys to like me a little bit. But I'm also, like, very, like, inclined to, like, you know, possibly, like, you know, save that money for, like, building ships if I need to. I can still build my, like, destroyers, so, like, the reason, like, the research rate just right away, so you can have access to, like, powerful destroyers if you need them. But preferably, I want to wait until I have access to, like, you know, my better ships basically at level, you know, tech level 5. Guess when, like, the good stuff basically, like, starts to appear for, like, the Rotharians.
We claim this system in the name of the Rotharian Star Network.
Oh, look at that, I actually claimed the system from under their noses. And that happened, so yeah. Basically, like, over here, this guy's, like, already, like, you know, as you can see, grabbing Myers is, like, you know, close to him, so he managed to grab, like, the Aquitae over here. Unfortunately.
Affirmative.
And by the way, these guys were, like, you know, trying to colonize this planet up here a little bit, but, you know, they'll stop that in a moment once they, like, you know, realize I've already colonized it.
Affirmative.
Select a planet for terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming.
You know, at this point, we're just getting all these guys to focus on, like, this planet up here.
Terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming.
And Ugg just basically boasting over here. I'm not by it. That's, like, compared to, like, my, like, outpost in many ways, so it could actually hurt a lot if this thing attacked me, so hopefully it won't attack me. Now, I want to know the bad thing about, like, you know, the, like, you know, quotient being up this far is that it's very possible they might be able to steal, like, the Levines from me, so if possible, I want to try and get these guys to, like, you know, be friends with me, I guess, so we can possibly see, like, you know, if, like, you know, they've, like, met the coalition plants or not. If they've met the coalition plants, the Levines, it's very likely they're going to, like, join them, so there's not a whole lot I can basically do about it, but if I can, like, you know, grab them, I will. We'll build a space dock here in, like, you know, Theone, so get it out of the way. And while we're basically out, let's start, you know, building up this, like, you know, planet here a little bit. You're building a space dock, you're building up yourself. These guys aren't big enough for the regenerators yet, so we'll just keep it simple and build this stuff up over here. Build that right there for those guys. Let's wait for this guy to have what he needs to build the, like, regenerator over here. And that guy should be healed up by, like, next turn to, like, you know, keep exploring if I need him to, which will be nice. By the looks of it, by the way, the coalition are probably fairly big over here too, so I haven't watched out for that, but oh well.
Terraforming has been completed. External Affairs has a message for us.
Oh, I'll take that for sure. There's cooperation, so we'll take cooperation from the Levines, and we'll take friendship from the Cyborg. And great, this guy's managed to, like, you know, do a bit of, like, you know, colonizing over here, so...
Select a planet for terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming.
We'll just keep it up. I'll note that pretty much at this point I want this guy to, like, to sort of be over here to, like, you know, keep an eye on, like, you know, coalition movements based on instruction, because I still want to claim these planets from them if he can. I still need his transfer base down here to, like, you know, help build up my, like, you know, outposts if I get the chance to, so... Things to do.
Affirmative.
And yeah, these guys basically left after, like, you know, they realized that I basically had, like, access to, like, this colony, this, like, you know, sector already, so... All mine.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Let's work on that for now.
Terraforming has been completed. External Affairs has a message for us.
They declined my friendship tree, by the way, because I basically had cooperation with them, so they basically took the cooperation instead. And since I basically can't, I can, like, now trade with, like, the, like, you know, the Zybrans, so we'll look for somebody to basically do that right now, I guess. You're gonna be producing titanium perhaps in the future, so I won't worry about you. You guys were just recently colonized. You might be used to, like, be for resource routes. I kinda wish Mesprit basically had enough population to, like, you know... Oh, I already trained with the Cyborg. Okay, never mind. I thought I wasn't training with these guys, but I guess I am. Now, no problem, I have a space dock here and, like, you know, failing. I can actually go a little bit far with these guys now, so...
Affirmative.
We're gonna basically have my, like, you know, transport here, or my, like, scout here, go over here to Mizar instead. Those guys came down to Firmidons over here, you know, to do their stuff. Yes, lots of stuff's being, like, you know, terraformed and colonized over here.
Select a planet for terraforming.
You know, I do want to send someone basically over here to, like, you know, Abydos, but with that damn thing there, I can't really do it, so...
Affirmative.
I'll have to sort of wait for it, I guess, a little bit.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I have fairly good surveillance over here, by the way, so...
Planet for terraforming.
I'm pretty confident I can, like, keep terraforming with, like, you know, Sakai over here, so it's basically, like, you know, keep, like, trying to terraform all the planets over here. And Nox build up his stuff, so now I can build up, like, you know, this here, I guess. Get the Aqua Culture Center. Now, I want to know something about, like, you know, basically meeting, like, you know, other factions and, like, having, like, you know, Mars basically under its way. It's worth knowing that basically if you don't have, like, any relations with, like, you know, a Mire, basically, like, you have, like, you know, poor relations or only trade relations, you won't have, like, you know, any, like, you know, information from, like, the known empires or, like, relations of the other empires. But as, like, you basically, like, you know, get, like, more information from these guys, you basically, like, get to know, like, you know, if, like, they met anyone or, like, you know, if they basically, like, you know anyone. So, on the way, this guy cooperates with the Levans here. They've yet basically to meet the, like, you know, coastal planets, because they basically don't see, like, known empires here, so they have yet to, like, meet, like, either, like, the Cartare or the humans. And by the way, for, like, Akote over here, these guys basically, like, you know, have no record, but, you know, I already know they're basically, like, you know, a member of, like, you know, the coalition of planets. But yeah, once basically you have friendship treaties with like, you know, the Myers, you basically get information of like, you know, if they met anyone or if like, you know, they currently have like, you know, relations with anyone, so to speak. And it's just great. Alright, this guy can like, you know, do his own thing for a little bit, I guess, so. We'll do it like so. You're just gonna build up your fabricators for now. I want to make sure these guys are also producing stuff like crazy, so let's get this going over here, I guess, or... Yeah, it's fine, let's build the Doom Refinery right there. And Mesbria! We're gonna get the replicator basically over here at this point, I think, so let's get it out of the way. So yes, it's a battle for Myers basically at this point. Now, one of the unfortunate things about this like guy like having access to like, you know, the Akate over here, it's just the simple fact that basically he's gonna be able to get close to like the Levines if he's like, you know, wants to basically, so to speak. The thing about the Coalition of Planets is that like, you know, it's very likely that they can bribe away like, you know, Myers if they like, you know, don't have like lots of like influence with him with me already, so this guy has 0 like acceptance of me right now, so it's very possible like, you know, if he's a bribe from like, you know, the like, you know, coalition, they basically like, you know, kill all relations with me and like, you know, join the like, you know, coalition like, you know, pronto. So I have to very much watch out for that. But other than that, we're doing pretty good, I guess. And by the way, I got my money back from like, you know, giving this guy like money for the cooperation tree, so, or like friendship tree, so we basically now have access to like, you know, all the money basically we've given to this guy, you know, back for like, you know, own purposes. You know, I should probably note by the way that when it comes to like, you know, your outposts, they actually serve a big purpose for like, you know, giving you scanning range and stuff like that. I'm actually able to see like, you know, what's happening over here in front of us because basically like, you know, we have the outpost here, giving us like, you know, nice little raise basically around like, you know, these like, you know, areas over here. When I basically like build like an outpost over here, I'll be able to see like, you know, what's going over here as well. So very important stuff basically I'm doing for like, you know, surveillance purposes. Ouch, we just lost 11 billion population of working free over here.
Terraforming has been completed.
So that's a minor event that can happen where like, you know, you basically like lose like population, so the ocean planet just lost like, you know, a massive amount of population apparently to like, you know, only 1 billion apparently.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Interesting, there's something over here.
Affirmative.
He might be coming down to this planet, this guy over here, if he gets a chance to, so... Oh, look at that, there's Earth.
Affirmative.
So we found a coalition of planets like, you know, homeworld, like, you know, right off the bat. So there's Terra. I'll leave these guys there for now, I think.
This system will be colonized. This system will be colonized.
I'm just gonna colonize this system over here a little bit.
Affirmative.
I'll note this point, but I'm gonna probably send these guys down to like, you know,
Affirmative.
just colonize like the sectors over here if I get the chance to.
Affirmative.
Those group all my colonies basically up in this like, you know, area over here to like, you know, try like, you know, fit the thing about like coalition of plants is I want people to like, you know, claim what plants are like, you know, sort of good basically to like grab. A plant of like, you know, 4 billion or like, you know, well at least like, you know, 20 like billion like this. These are gonna be like good plants basically to have like access to like, you know, build like stuff on. Really right now I just wanna like, you know, try and claim like, you know, a board basically like the coalition over here, so that's the plan with like them. Define the borders.
Select a planet for terraforming.
7 more turns I'll be able to, like, you know, fully colonize this sector.
Affirmative.
Oh, now no boy over here in Oborcum, because like we lost like, you know, our power there. We lost the power because we basically lost our population, so I don't actually have the population to build like, you know, stuff up here in Oborcum anymore. That happened because I basically lost like, you know, the population to power up the plant, so to speak. So it sucks, but well. You know, I need Borf basically focusing on like intel soon, so I'm probably gonna do this with Borf right now, just to like, you know, make sure I have like the intel basically sorted out for these guys if I need it. So let's do that with them, I think. Now let's build a few more V's. Apparently this guy isn't doing anything, so apparently I need some titanium basically for like, you know, Kai Signet to like do his job. So here's what it's like, you know, to figure out like the system overview, like resource screen, so you can like get a nice little breakdown, like, you know, where like you have resources and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be making like, you know, big use of like this screen here to like, you know, look for like, you know, who has titanium and who I might want to give it over to like, you know, Kai Signet over here. So let's see here. I'll note that Cartare is of course going to be like, you know, my resource route like, you know, place. So we'll start like doing this for this guy over here, I think, and like, you know, we can build stuff up like this. You know, it's important to fill all this up, but let's just turn it off for now. So this guy can like focus on building up his stuff here a little bit more. Alright, let's go in our turn.
We claim this system in the name of the Rotharian Star Network.
Ooh, change the government of the people of Fiore. So here's a minor event that basically happened where, like, you know, these guys actually have a change in, like, you know, relations to you. Sometimes they'll be like good, sometimes they'll be bad, and in this case it was good, so you might be able to get away with, like, you know, triggering with these guys now. That'd be nice to see. Oh, here's Earth, by the way, so Earth, Venus, Mars, Mercury's basically like, you know, an unhabitable, like, you know, planet over here for like Geomars, like, you know, origins. The gas giant Jupiter, the gas giant Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. And yeah, there's no Pluto in this one, but oh well. I figured there's like a limit, like the amount of planets they can like, have in a star system like in this game, so they didn't include Pluto, I guess, for that reason, as well as like, the fact that, you know, it isn't a planet anymore, or classified as one. This is not a bad planet to possibly colonize over here, but it's a little close to Earth.
Affirmative.
You know, this would be a bad place to put my, like, you know, outpost, I think, so
We will begin constructing the outpost.
let's just build an outpost, like, you know, right next to Earth over here. Just so I can, like, have a look around over here if I need to. I'll note that the nice thing about these, like, outposts, I can use them for surveillance, so I'm basically keeping track of, like, you know, the moves, like, the, like, coalition and stuff like that, so something I'll basically be doing with them, basically, for the most part. Keeping track of them.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Depending on what these guys find over here, by the way, for planets, I may like start navigating like these like shift basically elsewhere to for the most part, like in this direction. So we'll soon pass a turn and find out what they're gonna basically find for me, I guess. It would probably help if I put like some like industry and like entertainment over here, so this guy like probably like puts his stuff down. Just gonna build some random stuff here, like to get stuff done. You notice by the way, I like to upgrade my fabricators a lot early on, especially in sectors that like don't like have like lots of fabricators in them. And a sector like Mesbury, I'll like avoid it a little bit because like this guy's actually like pumping up his like manufacturing capability, but the other smaller systems will use it to like do other stuff like their industry. So like laboratories here, for example, I want to like use my like upgrading capacity to help build like these laboratories up over here in Heka, for example. So we'll do that. Alright, so these guys look pretty good with like their food stuff here. No problem if like you have like a mass amount of like replicators like this. It's usually a good idea to like start like burning off like some of like scrapping. You can go to like your structure screen, like right click or left click to like get rid of like excess structures you don't really need. So we're gonna get rid of like 8 of like these like organic like replicators over here, I think, to like bring it down to like 9. That's really all he needs right now for like food for now. And I'll need even less once I build these basically up as well, so food issues are not a thing for Zetrians to worry about, so to speak. And by the way, I have to build this up at some point, so let's build this up now, I guess. You always want to build a communications grid by the way, these sectors, so like you don't have like bribery issues basically happening to yourself later on, or at least you'll have less of it, so to speak. The communication grid will help like make your like miners resistant to being bribed, but won't completely like kill it, so to speak. So you have to watch out for that. Still. Alright, so Merger basically built up his titanium, so this is like a upgrade this a little bit over here. I really need to get my like titanium basically produced over here in Cartare for sure though. So once basically build up this titanium mine or upgrade, we're gonna start like producing like lots of titanium over here, I think, mine wise, so to speak. So that'll be happening. Alright, let's go turn and like see what basically lies over here.
Terraforming has been completed. Select a planet for terraforming.
Keep terraforming over there. Alright, so interesting. I'll note that basically over here in like, this like, corner of the globe, there's basically like, quite a few planets basically to like, go after.
Affirmative.
By the way, that's the battle station over here. So the battle station is basically over here in like, Antares. I'm gonna avoid this like, sector for now, but that'd be a sector I possibly like, want to like, visit at some point to see like, if we can like, be in friendly terms with the battleship, battle station or not. Alright, so moment of truth at this point.
Affirmative.
I don't need to have like all these like, colony ship basically like going down this direction, I think, so we'll probably like, have some of these guys go elsewhere. Specifically, I'll have these guys probably head down to Arcturus at this point, so...
Affirmative.
Or actually, we'll send them over here, I think.
Affirmative.
We just want these guys basically to like, head over in this direction to like, start like helping out with like, colonization over here, I think, so... We'll do that with them. Alright, this guy made over here is going to build an outpost right there.
We will begin constructing the outpost.
Affirmative.
You know, really, I don't really care too much about the Heroica, like, you know, system over here, so
Affirmative.
I'm gonna send this guy basically up in this direction to help, like, you know, scout out in this direction, I think. And we'll keep the scout around to, like, you know, keep an eye on these planets over here. That sounds like a plan. Note by these guys, like, Osepos has, like, you know, no food issues anymore, so that's nice to see. I also have to basically terraform, or, like, you know, colonize with someone as well, so
Affirmative.
one of you guys can go over here to a site, I guess. I'll do that with you. And let's just build up, like, you know, a whole lot of assembly yards over here, I think, really to plan. And set. And you can build this PC up over here, I think. And yeah, basically over here, like, you know, Cartare, we're just gonna go, like, nuts, basically building up, like, these, like, you know, titanium mines in a moment. Actually, I want to get, like, a few for fabricators, so, like, basically build it in a turn, I think, so we'll build, like, you know, 6 more of, like, fabricators for now. And GM can, like, you know, upgrade this, I guess. We got our Intel centers basically over here, Rhenium, so that's nice. Although for the most part, right now I'm building Intel centers basically for the future rather than, like, you know, for, like, you know, right specifically now, because it doesn't look like these guys are using Intel on me right now, but if they did, I do have a little bit of, like, you know, Intel basically, like, you know, Intel security over here to, like, keep myself alive if, like, they, like, you know, start sabotaging me and stuff like that. I'll go over Intel possibly in the future, but right now, just note that right now I'm just trying to build up my, like, Intel strength to, like, you know, basically protect myself from, like, you know, espionage and, like, you know, sabotage from, like, the enemy, so to speak. And speaking about it, let's just, like, you know, get a few more Intel centers over here, I think, so also, it'll be, like, used for, like, Intel as well as, like, you know, GM fire, so to speak, so that'll be their job. Alright then, so I'm gonna have myself a nice little, like, you know, outpost here, an outpost right there, an outpost over here. That will suit me just fine, I think.
External Affairs has a message for us.
Here's our trade agreement with the Pharaoh, basically, like, you know, operational, so we'll have Mesria basically trade with them, I think. And yeah, no problem, like, these straight lines, like, you know, both the straight lines are, like, going to Anisha over here, so I actually have to, like, check to make sure this guy's actually, like, you know, trading with him, but whatever. Alright, Archer's over here doing its thing. You know, I'm trying to send one of these guys over to Firmidon just to explore it, so why not? We'll do that with one of these, like, colony ships, I think. And you guys can just build up this stuff over here. What do I want Murga basically to do at this point, I guess? So I guess I want to build, like, you know, a few more, like, organic replicators for these guys over here, just to, like, you know, make sure they can do stuff, as well as fabricators so they can build stuff. I'll note, by the way, when it comes to, like, to building fabricators and, like, you know, replicators, usually if, like, you know, it's like a small system, I'll, like, only build, like, you know, less, like, you know, replicators and, like, you know, fabricators, but if it's like a, like, you know, at least, like, very, like, you know, population some more with, like, the Rotharians, I usually like to aim for, like, you know, 9, like, you know, replicators and 9, like, you know, fabricators until I can know, like, you know, what they basically need to, like, you know, populate themselves. And I'm not basically as well for like, you know, a system like any food bonuses like, you know, Murga here. That's even more so the case. I may like, you know, around to like 220 plays, you know, start like turning down to like the fabricators and stuff like that. But early on, I just want to make sure I have like, you know, my like, you know, food bases covered and like, you know, their ability to produce it covered as well. With the other like, you know, factions, I might actually like go for a little bit less like, you know, 9 like, you know, fabricators and 9 replicators. But with the Rotharians, with like, you know, they're like mouses like the like, you know, being able to produce like, you know, industry. And like worrying about like, you know, their food like issues. All my base like have my like, you know, my base is covered, so to speak. All right then, so you know, I really need to get like these colony ships down here, I think, at this point. So
Affirmative. Affirmative.
I think I'm just gonna send these guys down this direction right now.
Affirmative.
I would like to colonize like this planet at some point by way over here, but you know, for now,
Affirmative.
we're
Affirmative.
gonna basically get everyone to like go up in this direction for most part to like, you know, ask cooling for your ships here, I think. So
Affirmative.
we'll get all those guys basically going that direction for now.
We have established contact with an alien culture.
Alright, so that's the Firmidons, by the way. These guys are like, you know, they actually have some scouts that you don't actually see here, but they're basically like, you know, are already like in possession of the coalition of planets.
Terraforming has been completed.
I know it's because they basically had them like over here in Hiroka, but you know, we'll see when basically like this outpost gets built over here. You can see them again.
Select a planet for terraforming.
You're just gonna grab
This system will be colonized.
this system for me. Actually, you know what? I actually want to basically like, you know, build
Select
space dock here
a
as fast as
planet
possible.
for
So
terraforming.
we're just gonna basically focus on like, you know, this terraforming this planet over here. I think this guy for now. And by just like the Ronas system,
Affirmative.
we'll send this guy over here to reducing planet over here. I think.
Affirmative.
Actually, send him up over here. Now, I don't know, by the way, as I said, basically takes like, you know, 6 turns basically to build up an outpost. I'll probably have this guy over here and like, you know, Sakai Sini come down to Arcturus in a moment to like, you know, start terraforming and like claiming the system for myself. And then we'll start like, you know, focusing like our efforts basically exploring over here, I think, will be the plan.
Affirmative.
I'm gonna send my scout over here over this direction, I think. I'm not by we're basically done exploring over here for the most part because like, you know, there's basically 2 like major factions and I'm not gonna basically like, you know, deal too much basically exploring into like their space for the most part. Just enough basically to get an idea of like, you know, what they basically have like, you know, access to for now, so all I really want. I'm gonna offer non-aggression to the Cartare just so like, you know, possibly can like, you know, have better relations with these guys over here, I think. And Rotharian, you built up your intel centers. Nice job. And, you know, not by like, you know, Rotharian here, they're going to be building up like, you know, a lot of like the intel from like, you know, the Tiger command and stuff like that. So a lot of my defenses are going to be basically like, you know, coming from like here for like, you know, defend myself. So That will be a thing. You know, I really should be getting your regenerative phase online over here at this point, so... We're gonna do this with, like, you know, affairs right now, I think. We'll build, like, you know, this up. Don't build this up, don't build this up. And let's go from there with my capital for the most part. I really should be trying to avoid this guy's space over here, but, you know, whatever. I guess I'm not. Alright, these guys over here. Just build up your, like, you know, fabricators and organic fabricators, I guess, for now. Nox is build these up over here for, like, you know, obvious reasons. Let's get those up for those guys up there. The Great Unknown. This is what, you know, this area over here is going to be for the most part. We'll send that to these guys again, maybe. You might take it now. Who knows? We'll see. Whoop. The Bosnians are still here in, like, you know, Abydos, so retreat.
External Affairs has a message for us.
And we just got ourselves our, you know, ship blown up because this guy's still here. Was that guy still here? I'm not really sure, but whatever. We just made the Bosnian group a little bit bigger now because, like, you know, although whenever the Bosnians basically kill a ship, they get a little bit bigger. So this guy just, like, absorbed my colony ship and turned it into, like, another, like, you know, alien for us to basically fight over here at some point. And that's really frightening now for, like, my outposts to fight. So hopefully, it won't attack my outposts at, you know, at any given time now. Hey, look at that! These guys are stuck by Non Aggression Treaties, so we now basically have, like, you know, secure borders like the Cartare over here. And apparently the humans decided to give me a gift of 5,000 credits, so hooray! We have better relations with the humans now, I guess. Perhaps, we'll see. I'll note that I still want to get Non Aggression with these guys to sort of, like, you know, block them off from stuff, but, you know, it's nice basically to get stuff with them. You might see me, like, start to boost, like, you know, some memers basically out of here, for example, in the future. That might be a thing. I'll probably make it out of, like, Duranium when I get a chance to, so we'll do that, you know, set that right now. Alright, so Kai Signe. He's got his laboratories and stuff like that. Let's build up a few more, like, you know, replicators and, like, you know, fabricators here, I think. I'll build this basically up over here. I can already get the organic regenerate here, so if someone has something determined to, like, you know, give to him, let's do so right now. And nope, not with him. Alright, so Heckup can, like, you know, trade, like, his, like, stuff to, like, Uzma over here, so we're just gonna do that right now, so we're basically gonna build up our stuff here when I get the chance to. He also needs some titanium in this guy, apparently. So, again, let's go to the sectors here. We'll see who has titanium. I only need a little bit, so even, like, Merc can, like, give like titanium if I need to, but, you know. Let's go for someone who basically has, like, you know, a little bit more to give away. I'm gonna basically get this built up over here. Do like that for next little frat guy. Interesting. So, it looks like there's another faction basically over here in the core system. So another major is basically out in this direction over here. Good to know. What will I find out in here, I wonder? We'll see soon, I guess.
Affirmative.
You know what? You go right there. You can go over here, I think.
Affirmative.
Alright, let's go one more turn and we'll, like, call it quits, I think, for, like, this episode.
Terraforming has been completed. External Affairs has a message for us.
Alright, so it's basically our Non Aggression Pact. That's great to see, so... I want to know, by the way, you basically have Non Aggression Pacts actually lock down your territory of, like, the other, like, factions, because basically you can't enter their territory and they can't enter yours. So, basically, like, we're, like, locking down this territory, like, to prevent, like, the coast, like, running into it. So this guy's here now.
Select a planet for terraforming.
At this point, we're just gonna quickly, like,
Select a planet for terraforming.
terraform that planet up a little bit. You guys can, like, colonize
This
here.
system will be colonized.
Make that my own. I'm really tempted, like, to upgrade this fabricator basically over here in Mesbury, I think, at this point, so I might want to do that. Basically, upgrading, like, the fabricators is going to get me a nice little production boost, so it's worth doing it, sooner than later. Also, let's see, build it just right there in one turn as well, so that'd be nice to do as well. So, let's build it all like that, I think, for the next little bit for this guy. I'm just gonna upgrade these for now, for the hell of it. Abydos. Unfortunately, you can't be, like, terraformed at the moment, so you're on your own. You should actually have it going up there a little bit, but whatever. Alright, so, I'll note that for food production over here in Rotharian, we're going to be doing a lot better now. When, of course, we're actually producing food, because, we have the stuff online now. I'll note by this point, I'm probably going to turn off, like, into a little bit here. I'm going to focus basically on upgrading this stuff here a little bit, just get it out of the way, and we'll get this going over here. And a bit more of this. Excellent, GM Fire's getting nice and big over here, so that's nice to see. Let's upgrade this maybe now. Then we'll get more of this stuff. Laboratory, we should be nice as well. And apparently these guys hate me. Oh well. I'm not by the way, these, like, from honest, I have some very nice players by the way in the future, so yeah, get some nice, you can get some nice ship space from the Mars if you want them. Alright then, so I'll note this point where we're basically going to be coming to the conclusion for this, like, episode. We didn't really do a whole lot, but, we basically, like, mapped out our board basically of, like, the, like, Cartare as well as the coalition planets. And I'm not really like to sort of, like, round out this episode. The thing I basically want to do with, like, these, like, two empires is, like, sort of, like, determine, like, where boundaries of, like, an empire are going to be with them. So, for example, I, like, claim this, like, system here. And that's like gonna be like the end, like, system basically to, like, be like, on a frame space of, or like this guy over here, for example. And I'm building an outpost over here, for example. I'm not building the outpost just for the fact, like, I can build the outpost here, but also for the fact that I can build the outpost to, like, lock off his system for, like, being, like, terraformed and, like, colonized by the coalition. That's, like, a nice thing about, like, claiming a system sector, can, like, prevent them from, like, accessing it if they want them to. If they want to, so to speak. And by the way, we're gonna send this guy back up here to about because these guys left over here, so. Get this all colonized if I get the chance to in the future, perhaps, we'll see. I guess I see these guys because of the outposts over here, so hooray, I'm able to see like the nice thing with these outposts is to give you a nice little view basically around yourself, so hooray. But yeah, I'll be building like outposts. I'll be building like other stuff basically down here in the future. So like basically keep an eye on like the other like empires when I get a chance to. That'll be something I'll be doing. Like you'll see me build like a continuum scanner basically over here, and like Prosperian at some point, as well as like probably in Kijam over here to see like incoming enemies and such. But for now, we're just defining boundaries. So that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys in the next one. For now, take care.